Hi guys, good morning everybody. I am in a different setting today. I am going to be painting live. It's very exciting. It's very nerve-wracking too, because doing it first time. I mean, not painting first time. I've been artist for 35 years, but I am painting live first time. So if you joining me live, please hit the like button, send me some message saying that you're watching it. I will be asking you to place your votes on two different phrases that you think I need to put inside of my painting, either joy to the world or peace on earth. So as I will be painting, cast your votes, say number one, just print number one, type number one, and say joy to the world. If you voting for that phrase, type number one, type number two if you're voting for peace on earth. And I will go with the most votes. Now, these votes will be real, and they will be counted only if you watching me live. If you're watching a rebroadcast, then I am not going to be able to fix anything if you will decide to vote later. I'm planning to stay live for about an hour. Let me introduce yourself. I'm sorry I forgot to do that in the beginning. My name is Masha Hammerling. I'm from Inspirational Online Art Studio, Paper, Paint and Palette. I will start painting live right now. I will create a Christmas theme on this cutting board. I will be making something stylized, something decorative. It's not gonna be anything like realistic or no cubism styles, just decorative art. I majored in traditional Russian folk art, decorative style of art. My main supports I worked on was wood or paper. So let me start on drawing my design on this cutting board, and I hope you will stay with me and see what I'm doing. So right now I will be mounting my phone into the stand, my tripod, so bear with me as I am doing it. Okay, sorry for this. I'm using my phone for everything. I'm using my phone to hold. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it perfect, just the way I wanted. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry if it's a little bit jiggly, wiggly for you guys. Okay, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see what I will be doing. I will, as I already said, will be painting live. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are here, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you have something else to do right now, don't worry. You can always check in. I will be here for a while. As you know, paintings are not happening in few minutes. It takes a while for painting to happen, for ideas to appear. So what I have over here, as you can see, I already start kind of sketching my design. It will be stylized painting, Christmas style, Christmas theme. I will be attempting to make warm colors. That's why I painted background on my wooden cutting board. I will be having a ribbon wrapped on the top. I will have candles and poinsettias and hollies, some twigs, berries, leaves over here on the bottom, like a little centerpiece with 3 candles. Now, again, I'm reminding you guys, if you would like to see phrase number 1, which is joy to the world, please type number 1. If you would like me to write on a ribbon peace on earth, please type number 2. So this is number 1, this is number 2, and vote for what do you want me to put on the ribbon. So right now, I will be transferring my image into the tracing paper, just so that I'm not gonna end up erasing wrong lines on the already painted wooden board. It's just gonna eliminate a lot of headache, and I will proceed. A couple of more things left. I just try to avoid boring parts, and I will be, let me put the microphone closer to myself. Okay. And I will be checking once in a while on my computer and see if you are reacting, if you doing something over there. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have anything to say to me, I will be happy to answer. I will be taking little breaks here and there, and I will reply between my preparation time right now. I will finish up drawing my design. I'm drawing on the special paper called tracing paper, and I will be so poinsettias are sort of done. I will put a couple of holly tree leaves over here. Let me change my pencil. First one got very dull. All right, so I'm trying to fill up the gaps between flowers. Over here I will have little berries, like cluster of berries that holly berries that kind of create design more heavier on the bottom. It will go a little bit up. You see, I just decided to do something different today for the live broadcast. I decided to create something that will be fun, and it's Christmas. It's so fun to create all this Christmassy, you know, wintry art, and to worship our Lord and Savior through the gifts that He gave us. If your kids would like, or if you would like to create something like this and you will need directions, if you will need some advice, you are definitely welcome to email me at mashahem@paperpaintandpalette.com. That's my email, mashahem@paperpaintandpalette.com. Right now, though, we are casting votes on what phrase I'm going to put on the ribbon that I draped on the top. So ribbon will go all the way on the top over there. I hope, guys, you can see. Yes, I see myself in on my laptop, and I see that you can, everything is visible over there. So, okay. So next step, what I will be doing, I will put my paper that I worked on onto the side. I need to transfer this image onto my wooden board. In order to transfer this image onto the wooden board, I will create something that we used to do in my art college, that we used to make, and we didn't want to use the like a special paper that helps you. I forgot how the name of that paper, but that helps you to transfer images that you sometimes use if you're as old as I am in the typewriter machine. But because that paper can create a lot of mess, so what we did, we would create our design and layout on a piece of paper. Then we trace it into the tracing paper. You can use wax paper. or parchment paper as well. Then we will flip the image and we will use pencils and create like a scribble line. And we will go over every line that we still can see from the front. As you can see, parchment paper or wax paper, or what I'm using is tracing paper. You can see through that paper. It's very useful for projects like this. And what you need to do, you need to create like scribble lines, and those scribble lines will help you to transfer your image from the front of your paper into the board. So let me quickly finish making the scribble lines. They will be helping us to transfer image to the wooden board with ease. That's an old school little trick. Okay, so let me make sure I don't have any gaps. So that's what you need to make sure if you're going to be using this technique. Make sure you're not making lines like this, because this would be very hard to see. You need to make lines that closely come together and create the whole like image is covered. It creates like a shape. It's not separate lines like this, right? It's a zigzag line that kind of squished together. So you see, if I will do it slowly, and at the same time, look how sharp my pencil got. So that's another plus. Win-win situation, guys. So, and another trick, don't hold your pencil straight up. Lay it down and turn it as you create those lines. Just like that. And don't cover place that is empty and has no drawing. It's just going to create a mess. If you accidentally will put your hand on top when you will be tracing your image, it will create, fingerprints will be left on places where it doesn't have to be. There will be no design over there, so there is no reason to cover empty spots with the scribble lines. Okay, I am almost done. We will be transferring image. I will be transferring image anytime now. Just like that. It's all done. Now, the best thing to do after this is to find a pen. And I forgot about this part, and I so don't want to use a pencil for transferring purposes, because pencil is okay. I'm trying to locate a pen. Okay, I don't have a pen, so what I will do, there will be another little trick for you guys. I will try to find a paintbrush that has a very pointy, sharp end. And I will get this one. A lot of old tricks for you over here. All right, so what am I doing now? I will be transferring image of that image that I've created onto this board. Now, when you're doing this, you need to be careful aligning everything on your board. You need to be careful on not accidentally moving what you're tracing. So if you sort of like need to lock in this image, You need to hold it as tight as you can, and I can even put something heavy. I can even put something that will help me to hold that image strong. And I will be transferring this image, and I will try to put my heavy parts on the empty spots that don't have any. Okay, so that's just for those who need this help. Okay, so now I hope you can see what I will be doing. All right, so now I will be just putting my hand, my fingers on the spots that have no design on it, and I will be tracing with this pointed part of the handle of the paintbrush, because actually it's better to have a pen, but I don't have it in the present moment, and I don't want to leave you guys without seeing me on the screen. So there you go. That's what we will be doing now, is to, transferring the image, just like this. So all what you need to do is remember which line you already transferred, because that's why I'm saying having a pen will be easier, because it will help you to see what you already have traced. With tool like I'm using that is really not designed for this job, you will have to memorize. And it's better to go just to do shape by shape and object by object, not to skip and do things that... So now I know all my candles are done, my biggest center piece poinsettia is done, the leaves and the petals of the poinsettia, now the small on the right side. Don't forget to cast your votes, guys. Don't forget to let me know which phrase do you want me to write on the top part on my ribbon. Either the first would be, let's see, number 1, type number 1 for joy to the world, type number 2 for peace on earth. If anybody watching me, please do that now. So leaves for this poinsettia. Now I will jump into this poinsettia, and just to show you, you see the image is transferring pretty well, very well. That's what I really need. Okay, the petals, the leaves of this poinsettia. Now I will do the leaves of holly. Of the holly plant. And I will not going to transfer, though I will paint it, but I will not going to transfer the evergreen branches, like Christmas tree branches, because they are so fine. The needles of the pine trees or Christmas trees are so fine that I truly don't want to ruin my drawing with drawing them first and then you know, painting. What I will do, I will create those leaves, I'm sorry, the needles of the pine tree or evergreen tree. I will create them freehand, and that's what I will do, because it will be much easier. Much easier. You'll be surprised. So now I see that when I was drawing my design, I was not considering the sort of a place on the board that I left unpainted. So I will end up painting that leaf much smaller than I actually designed originally. Now the berries of the holly plant. The last leaf I will move a little bit over here. So I have to innovate as I go. Now I will move my weight, my paint tabs as I am moving onto the top. You actually can start from the top and go down, which I usually do. I didn't do it today because I decided to put my weight on the top first. You always also, what is good about doing transferring your design this style, because you use regular pencil, if you created a mistake, if you did something wrong, you always can erase those lines because you create those lines with a pencil, right? So it's always much easier. Now for the pencils that you can use, I would use pencil like HB, 2HB. I will not use pencils that are very soft, no bold, because, and I will move this part of the ribbon too, because they will leave a lot of mess and you don't want mess over there. Now I will move these bottles away because I am done. I am not going to draw my words over here on the ribbon yet. First of all, because I am waiting for your votes to come. Second of all, we're first going to paint the ribbon. And there you go. There you have it. That is my design. So, let's see. The first thing what I will be doing is I will check all my lines. I will make sure everything is fine. Now you see what's happening over here. I left a couple of smudges. I smeared the pencil line. Over here my ribbon went a little bit too far on the side, so let me fix that. Over here, ribbon is a little bit too close to this hole, that part for the board to hang on. So I will make it a little bit deeper curve over here, and I will make deeper curve for the ribbon over here as well. All right. Now, after you're done painting, you also can erase your things that are not going well for your design, and it's okay. As you go, you improve, right? What I would like to do right now is to start painting from the top all the way to the bottom, the basic coat, the first layer for my images. So usually you will end up having a lot of layers in order to create opaque colors, bright colors, in order to create depth and three-dimensional effect. So it's all good. I will make this ribbon to be red. And the red that I will choose, let's see. I will choose flag red. I love to use acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is my favorite paint. So let me see if you can see my color palette. That's my color palette. I'm reusing frozen dinner trays, and it's just easy. You paint, you throw them away. You don't have to bother with washing paint off. You don't have to bother with doing something. Oh, I need to put my apron on as I'm gonna start painting. You don't have to do a lot of oh, I forgot what I was talking about. Alrighty, so let's just start painting. And a paintbrush that I will be choosing for this particular job, let's see what I will choose over here. I will choose this chisel 1/4 of an inch. Now, it will be very easy with this paintbrush to help me to go around these corners and cover all these little parts that needs to be covered. As I said, if you was erasing something, make sure your little crumbs of eraser are gone. And let's go and paint this ribbon with first layer of red color. And I will be painting like bright red the parts that are not on the in the shadow, the parts that are not in a shadow and they are bright, they reflect the light. And it's, guys, very hard to talk and paint at the same time, so sometimes I will be quiet, and I know you don't mind that. And the words of the phrase that you need to vote on will be eventually located on the brightest parts of my ribbon. Just like that. Now this would be the front. As soon as my first layer will dry, I will be painting a second layer of the same color, just to make it, you see how translucent this first layer is, and I don't want it to be. I want it to be solid and opaque and cover completely all the shape that I created. So chisel paintbrush is the best. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what I see is happening. Okay, I see what's happening right now. I'm covering with my head all my painting that I'm doing. So I'm sorry for that. I will try to put my head somewhere where it's not going to be blocking the view. Just this way. How about that? I think this is better for you guys. Okay, and the last part of the ribbon, I will move it a little bit. This end got, for some reason, to be a little bit longer than I anticipated. Am I still in the frame? Am I still covering? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to avoid. How about this? Would that be better? I'm trying to avoid putting my head over the screen. Sorry for that. As I said, it's my first time painting live. I painted before for the free tutorials that I post every Monday. I painted before for just, for my job, different orders that I had, and now I end up. Okay, so this is a ribbon, the first layer for the ribbon. The lighter parts of the ribbon will be this shade, okay? These parts that are curving, like these ones, they will be darker color, okay? They will have a darker color on them, and I am thinking maybe I will put, sometimes Christmas ribbons have dual colors. One side is red, another side is green, for example. And I am thinking, because I will have green leaves over here, I might end up painting these parts green. So for now, what I will do is I will be painting first layer for the candles. And with candles, I will make them red, even though I realize for now you will think, oh my gosh, it will have so much red, but there's so much more colors coming. So let's start outlining. I will eventually create my candles to be sort of like stylized 3D, because I do want them to look natural and not flat. But for the first layer, they will have one shade of color, one tint. Now second, I will jump into this one first. Okay guys, I keep putting my head over. I just realized that my camera, the view over here is right where my head is. I'm so sorry for that, so let's fix it again. It's seriously, for some reason, it's easy to have my head all the way over my painting instead of having my head on the side. Much easier when you like hovering over your paint. All right, so this is done. Now, I do realize that some people will not going to have enough patience to stick with me through, I think, might be even more than an hour of art, sort of tutorial, real life broadcast. But you always, when you will be watching rebroadcast, you always can skip the boring parts. And you always can go ahead and just, you know, in a fast mode, see what I've been doing. Okay, so my candles are done. And now I will be repainting and adding second layer. Not repainting, adding second layer into the ribbon. I see some parts of my ribbon already dry, and which is awesome, because that's exactly what I want to have. You know, the biggest problem in artistic world, if an artist have no patience. Patience is a very important trait. And waiting on things, deliberating on ideas, improving your design, erasing the wrong parts and making it better. It's always been a very hard character trait to, you know, possess, because it's really hard to wait. In this world, we don't wait. So I will be talking as I will be painting. And being an artist, you cannot create your masterpiece if you don't have patience, okay? It's going to be sloppy, it's going to be unfinished, it's going to be very poorly designed. And we don't want that, you know, especially if we are Christian artists and God gave us this wonderful gift, artistic talent. We don't want to be, you know, showing to the world how impatient we are. We don't want to show to the world the worst of our qualities, you know. We want to be patient. We want to, that's, guys, reminds me of God, you know. That's how God works with us. That's how He makes us, you know, improving us, working on our character. And it's not easy. It's really, really hard. It's really hard to do, because we are people who are raised in times where patience is not a very, you know, respectable trait or character trait. Characteristics of your heart of your patients it's good. Nothing comes in this life as fast as you want it, because it's life. Life takes time. Things takes time to be prepared and to be, the good meal comes when it's made at the, fancy restaurant, in the home kitchen, when it takes time to cook. It takes time to prepare the meal. And, meals that are not good, not that much good for your health, are those meals that are made in a fast food restaurants. So the same with art. If you want to make something fast, you program your machine, your computer, and it makes everything fast, right? But it will be made by machine. There will be no heart involved. There will be no, warmth of your hands involved. And there's always a difference between, masterpieces, homemade designs, artisan created pottery. It's always better than something that is made by machine on the conveyor belt. It's always better to spend time on things that you create. If you don't have a patient, then you should consider to make this to be your maybe New Year resolution. I need patience with some things in my life. I might be very patient with my art. I might not be that patient with my children, when they misbehave. So I need to consider to fix that and learn to be patient as God working on them. He is an art creative process. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh boy, I keep putting my head over my work, and I keep blocking the view. All right, now my candles are ready to be painted again, and that's what I will be doing. That's what I will be I will try to keep in mind not to block the view, guys. I'm so sorry. Be patient with me, please. So I'm using flag red color. I'm working with acrylic paint. I'm using chisel paint brush, 1/4 of an inch. And Simply Simmons is a company that makes them. I really enjoy it. They're very easy to use, doing their job just perfect. I'm not advertising. I'm just sharing with you materials that I use. All right, so second layer is done. Now when I'm looking into the my second layer for my ribbon, I see that some parts are still translucent, and it tells me that I probably better use a third layer, and I will do that. For now, as my red is drying, I will create green leaves that attached on the back of the poinsettia flower. So poinsettia flowers have leaves, red leaves, right? Or maybe like white leaves. Now they make poinsettias in many different colors, but traditional one is the red leaves for the flower and the green leaves that are going around the stem, and that's what I will create. And for that I will be using paintbrush. Let me see where my paintbrush is. This paintbrush will create wonderful strokes. Now, when I was working on my art degree, we were one of the main specifics of our profession was to be able to create images and paint something with pure strokes, brush strokes. So that's all what we were doing. Brush strokes will paint the leaves, the flowers, petals, animals, people, anything. So I will be creating all of these wonderful flowers and leaves with paintbrush strokes. I will take right now green color. And green color that I will use, let's see, I need to have a real green. A real green color seems to me to be the right green color for this job. All right, so the first layer for the leaves would be just plain green. And when you create, I wonder if you can see my, okay, if I will move it a little bit closer. So this green color, if you can see this green color, will be the first color to cover everything. It will be a green background of anything that I want to create on top, because I do want to make those leaves to be like sort of three-dimensional, and I will show you how I will be doing it. So pointy top of the leaf. I'm not going to paint leaf all the way, just the part that is sticking out and sitting between petals of the poinsettia. And as you can see, I will be using at least second layer for this poinsettia leaves. This one. So guys, if you are watching me, make sure you're gonna cast your votes on what words do you want me to put on the ribbon over here. The choice number 1, and type number 1 for Joy to the World. Choice number 2, you type number 2 in comments, Peace on Earth. So Joy to the World number 1, Peace on Earth number 2. When children or young adults or aspiring artists of any age start painting their art or drawing their art, they sometimes think that art is created only from one point of view, is like when it sits like this in front of the artist. And I keep reminding my students that you can turn around your art piece and you can make it more comfortable for your arm to go around those little curves. And now you know, I can reach this leaf, and I prefer to do my brush strokes from this point instead of when it was turning down, when it was facing down. Just like that. And all right, as you can see, guys, it takes a long time to create an art piece, and I'm already 45 minutes into my art, and I know I will take much longer. So for now, I will be painting leaves in the small poinsettia on my right. Also, it always takes longer when you end up talking as you're painting, and which is I am trying to do, because I would like to talk to my viewers. as I paint, as I go through my art piece. Okay. Now I will continue and proceed to poinsettia flower that is on my left. Sorry for bumping into my... You still can see. Okay, good. All right. So, painting the leaves that are on the back of poinsettia flower. Painting the leaves that are still visible between the petals of the red poinsettia. Okay, I'm done with the first layer for all the leaves of the poinsettias that I have over here. For now, I will continue with the leaves for holly berries, for holly plant. And I would actually thinking I will make them with a little different tint. I would love them to have a little different shade. And let's see what I will do. I will make them a little bit more, I'm guessing right now, maybe a little bit darker. For that, I will add blue. Just a little bit of blue, and I will mix some of my green with that blue. And my first layer for the hollyberry leaves will be this shade of green that is like blue-green. Okay, so I hope you still can see with... I have all kind of light shining over here so you can see. All right. Another thing what I will do with my holly leaves, I will make one side of each leaf darker and another side of the leaf would be lighter. And that's how they also will be distinctive. They will be different from the poinsettia leaves. So for now, I will work on the leaves that are located on my right. And that leaf is... Yeah, I have to move as I go. Sometimes you have to improve your design as you go. One second, I need to move the camera a little bit. I hope this would be better. Okay. Sometimes I'm checking my image in on the screen of my computer to make sure that it's all working for you guys. Okay, just like this. Do you see what I'm doing? Okay, good. And the last leaf would be here. And from the top of that leaf, I will have twigs and I will have evergreen tree branches kind of stick. All right, now I will... Oh, there was a leaf, I think, over here. Yes. The first layer for holly leaves. And maybe I will add a leaf over here too. Okay. Now I will continue to the leaves that are on my right. Guys, you can see, I hope. Let me put my camera a little bit more down. Okay, how about this? Is that better? I hope it is. Okay, let's try this way. Goes this way, actually, okay. the leaf here, the leaf over here, a leaf over here. I will end up turning to another side, make it a little bit smaller, and leaf over here. We'll create a new one. Didn't design it, but you can always add. All right, I see that it's just, sorry for moving my camera like this. Now I will put the leaf over there. That's my problem, guys, and I'm working on it, that I just like to put my head over my art when I paint, and maybe everybody doing that, and that is a problem when you doing live broadcast and you want your viewers to see what you're doing. And my leaf is supposed to be over there too, and I do want my viewers to see what I'm doing, so I will try to move my head away. Let's do one more leaf over here. As you can see, sometimes I modify my design as I go, just because I see that something will be better if I'll move it, if I will fix it, if I will make it a little bit shifted to one side or something. All right, so first layer for these leaves are done, and as these leaves are drying off, I will continue to paint my ribbon with red color, because as I said, 2 first layers are not enough. I need to put a 3rd layer. Believe me, 3rd layer will be the last layer for this ribbon. And I end up painting over there. I will have to fix that part. Chisel paintbrush helps very well in getting into all of these corners and all of these places that are hidden in small narrow corners that ribbon creates. All right, so let me, all right. And now I will continue to this part. All what I'm doing now is applying 3rd layer to the ribbon that already have 2 layers of red paint, but I would like these layers to be even more bright and opaque. I love these colors to be very intense, so I have to apply 3rd layer. And my candles are fine because they will be having 3-dimension going, so I'm not going to apply 3rd layer on my candles. All right, and ribbon is done. Remember I said that I will put I will apply green color to the, how about I will put it here, to the other side, opposite side of the ribbon, just to kind of match this green to the top, so it will be part of the design. So that's what I will do, and I will make it, I will make sure it will look good, and I will put the green that I have on my hollies. So I will wash this color. Oh no, I'm not gonna wash this color away because I will be adding a couple of shadows onto my ribbon. So I will proceed with my, let's see, okay. I will first apply second layer for my holly leaves, and then I will paint with the same color these parts of the ribbon that are still empty. Just like that. I usually not adding any water into my acrylic paint because water makes acrylic paint to be more translucent, unless I'm painting on wood and I want watercolor effect. I'm just using acrylic paint medium to make it wet again if my paint is drying rapidly. And here in California, your paint dries rapidly. You want it or not, it's serious problem. And I came from a city that had a lot of humidity in the air at all times, any weather, any time of the year. So I'm still learning to work faster and to work with acrylic medium that will help me to keep my paint workable and wet. Applying second layer to my holly leaves, in case if you're wondering what I'm doing. And I need to apply a little bit of my medium for my green. Looks like green color is drying very fast with all the lights shining over here. Okay. All right. And now I will proceed to paint the other side of my ribbon. My ribbon is curving, and you can see this other side of it. And some Christmas ribbons are dual-sided. They have two different colors on the front of the ribbon, and on the other side it's different colors. So that's why I'm thinking I will go with green color. And over here you will not gonna see that curve. It will go straight into, and I see I probably will end up putting at least second layer into the ribbon, the green color, the green part. All right, and then second one. I'm sorry, the last part over here for the first layer. All right. So first layer for the ribbon, other side of the ribbon is done. I will continue now to paint over the first layer of my holly. I'm sorry, of my poinsettia flowers. Poinsettia leaves, I should say. So I will wash off, and when you're washing off one color from the paintbrush, as you are using acrylic paint, you need to be very careful and wipe all the moisture off, because as I already said, otherwise your acrylic paint will be very translucent, and it will be very and if you're working on the canvas, your acrylic paint will peel off eventually if you're using too much water or water at all. So let me wipe off some water spills over here. Okay, this is done. Okay, now second layer for poinsettia leaves. I hope you guys are already decorated your house with the Christmas decorations. I personally halfway through. We're still about to put our Christmas tree up, and we still have some decorations on the way to be placed on the spot where I want them to be. Now I have, for some reason, got some water over here, so keeping my head away from the camera so you can see what I'm doing. It's an awkward position. You'll be laughing at me if you would see how I am painting over here, but I try to find the perfect angle for my camera, for my phone actually, that is filming me right now. Okay, second layer is almost done for the first flower. Okay, I need to add some more color over here. Now for this poinsettia, it will be easier. It's always easier when your design is small, much easier when you need to cover small spaces, small objects, small shapes. Okay, second layer for the leaves are done. And right now I will be, okay, that color, okay, now I will paint this part of the leaves for the holly plant. I will wash off my green that I use for the poinsettia flowers. Now for this side of the holly leaves, I will use a little bit, I will add a little bit white. Let's see, where's my white? As you can see, right over here, I will be adding this white into this green. All right. A little bit more blue, a little bit more green, just to keep the color going. Okay, I think I achieved desired shade. Okay, so now I will be painting another side of the holly leaves. And I will try to make them... Okay, guys, it's dry so fast. I'm adding acrylic medium to keep my colors wet. Okay, as you can see, right? Yes, I think you can see. Okay, just like this. So now these leaves have some interesting thing going. They start having a dimension, even though I'm not trying to paint realistically. It's still, second color always adds dimension and to your painting. Okay, so I will continue. All right, and the last leaf on this side. Now I will continue with the left side of my little bouquet over here, Christmas bouquet. I'm probably working faster when I'm not talking, guys. Okay. Okay, and now I am doing this part. I know for some my viewers it might be boring to see every single stroke that I made, and that's okay. You guys can scroll down, you can look in the rebroadcast mode and to see the results that will be coming. Okay, the leaves are done. Some of them should be repainted, not repainted, should be... Oh, okay, that happens. Now look what's going on. I accidentally lost control of my paintbrush. So you take a little part of your paper towel, wet it in the water, and while it's still wet, that's why I have a background with my acrylic paint, and it washes away just like that. Okay. Now it's a time to, let's see, where is my thing? Okay, I see I need to put a couple of more brush strokes on these sleeves. And after this, we will proceed to paint. Okay, this paint is still wet, so we will proceed to paint our, let's see, our poinsettia leaves with a different shade over here. So what I'm saying is that I will add a little bit of yellow into my real green acrylic paint. All right, just like this, I will create. Jewel Scout, stop. Hey. I'm sorry for the dogs, guys. Hey, stop. Okay, so I created this shade of green over here, and I will be making more of this color. Okay, so now I will paint a layer like this, just like that. Now applying this different shade of green into other flower. And that would be the last step in painting the leaves for poinsettia. All right, this is done. I will going to repaint and put a second layer of this lighter green yellow when this layer will dry. So I will keep this paintbrush over here, and I will choose another paintbrush. Let me see. I will need another paintbrush that can help me to deliver strokes that I need in order to paint my poinsettia flowers, the petals of that flower. So what I like to choose is paintbrush that is round, I'm sorry, circle, that is round, and that the one that has pointy part over here. This might be good. This one has no point, you see, so I cannot create that pointy part of the leaf that poinsettia have. This might be good too. And I think this too will do. All right. So for these flower petals, I will choose the same red color as my candles and as my ribbon. Okay. And again, I will end up making several layers in order to build up the colors that I want to have for poinsettia. So let's start. And eventually these leaves will look a little bit different than all other red colors that I have over here. With next several layers of red color, I will add different shades, different tints of red. As I work on my petals, I turn the cutting board. And that helps me to create leaves of very nice form. I'm sorry, very nice shape. All right, so that's poinsettia number 1, the one that sits on the middle. I still have 2 to go. And I also have those berries, the holly berries, that I would need to paint with red color as well. I might use a different shade of red color. But for now, let's work on the poinsettia number 2 petals. And as you can see, it's again translucent. I will be using a second layer of red. I started with the leaves of poinsettia because I want them to be on a background. And the petals of the poinsettia flower to go over those leaves. And that's the technique that we use. To put something in the background should be painted first. And something that is coming on the foreground can be painted last. Because what you paint last can overlap with the images you created in the first place. And that will help your images to have that dimension again. Another trick for dimension. Oh, I hope I keep my head away from the camera. And you see, I sometimes improve my design as I go. Now, this poinsettia first layer is ready, and I will continue on to the third poinsettia. Okay, first layer is done. While my first layer of red color is drying, I will apply second layer for my green parts of this ribbon, and for this I need to create my color all over again because I ended up using it all. Alright, so guys, don't forget to let me know what phrase do you want me to put onto my ribbon right over here, just like I have on my previous. Just I put peace on earth, but you can vote either joy to the world or peace on earth, whichever you like. Peace on earth is number 2, joy to the world is number 1. In your voting comments, you can just put number 1 for joy to the world or number 2 for peace on earth. Oops, got smeared a little bit over there into the wrong part. All right. Okay. All right, I completely covered this second layer for my green parts of this ribbon. I see some of the green, dark green colors for my hollies. Still need another layer of dark green. So I just do some touch-ups. Careful touch-ups for the holly leaves. All right. And let's see what I have on this side. All right, this is done. Now I will be working on my berries that's supposed to be laying over here as I draw them, as I outline them. And after I place berries, my first layer of poinsettia petals will be done drying, and I can apply them second layer all over again. So let me see, there are several different ways of creating perfect dots, perfect circles, and I'm thinking, I can use paintbrush and just do this. Okay, whoops. And that's the problem, that you need to turn your paintbrush and turn your board in order to create perfect circles with your paintbrush. You can use the handle of your paintbrush, and if it has perfect circle on the end, you can use that perfect circle to create your dots, just like this. Okay, so maybe that's what I will do. For bigger berries, I will use paintbrush. For smaller berries, I will use the same paintbrush handle. And give me a second, guys. I need to see what's going on. Okay. Okay, thank you, Natalia, for liking my video. Thank you so much. Interestingly, I cannot see as I'm looking live at myself what's going on, but I can see now when I pull the information out, I can see that people are reacting. Thank you so much, Natalia. I appreciate your time you took to look into my video. All right, thank you. Okay, so let me continue with my painting. So some berries I will make bigger, and you see how I'm twirling. I'm turning my paintbrush as I'm doing it. And this paintbrush is not a perfect paintbrush for creating circles, but you know, if you have skills, you can make anything work for your purposes. And a couple of more big berries, and then I will use the handle of the same paintbrush to create smaller berries. Okay, so now I will dip this end into the paint. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I need to get more paint out. I don't have enough for all this awesome work that I need to finish. And just like this, create the clusters. Oops, more paint. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Now, the image that you're looking at right now, guys, is mirrored. The way Facebook does live broadcasts, they flip your image. So whatever I say, my right, it's probably looks to you that it's your left. So don't think that I don't know right and left. I do. The problem is with the mirrored image that is we're dealing with right now as I'm doing live broadcasts. So let's see where else I can maybe add a couple of here. And okay, no more dipping the end of the handle. I'll wipe it off, and I will proceed to the big berries on this part. And then I will see, maybe there will be a couple of more berries here and there. Okay, so let's make more berries. And I will try to work faster and talk less so that I will be done by the time 2 hours will be. I will be for 2 hours in the air, so I will have to be done by then. I cannot do more than 2 hours of live broadcasting. I don't think nobody would like that. Okay, couple of small berries here and there. And now big berries for this part. I would have to flip. And now for the small berries, maybe one big over here. And now small berries. Make sure you have plenty of paint on your paintbrush, because we need to have it enough to leave the impression of the berries, okay? Maybe a few berries here and there. Okay, as you see, while I was working on berries, my petals for the poinsettias were finished drying, and I will apply second layer of the same color, and believe me, it's going to be last layer, because I will have a different color after that going onto those petals. I'm sorry. As I'm going, I am turning my cutting board for the easier approach for my leaves. If you watch this video live, or if you watch this video in rebroadcast, please put some type of indication that you've been watching it, like for example a comment, a thumbs up, or heart, or something. If you don't like it, you can put thumbs down. It's just a nice way for people to know that somebody watched it, somebody spent their time, a second or two, to, you know, just to see what you're doing. That's the only way we can know what our audience doing, if they're watching or not, if they're enjoying or not. Maybe we can tweak something, maybe we can move something around and make it better, in case if you would prefer to see something different. Okay, now it's a time for me to proceed to another part that is not that's supposed to be worked on but already dry. So second layer or another color, something like this. So for now, I see that my candles and my ribbon should have some shadows, should apply, because the red color has been dried already, and that's what I will do, because I would like to create sort of a dimension, not completely realistic dimension, but decorative dimension. And what I will do is I will add a little bit of blue color into my red, and I will use this chisel paintbrush, and I will mix it, and that will give me a nice it's kind of purple, and I don't want to add black color. So what I will have is I will have a little bit of blue to create dimension, and I will start with dimension on my candles, and I will create shadows on the right side of the candle, and the lighter part would be on your left, though in the flipped and mirrored image that you see right now on the screen of your computer or your phone, it might be different, because live broadcast on Facebook goes and flips all the images. Okay, so I said it will be okay. So that's how I will create shadow. Thank you so much for watching my live broadcast. I appreciate it. And then I will kind of brush that shadow a little bit, just like this. So it will, and then I will show you another little technique. Oops. Reload the paintbrush and do it all over again. Okay. So that's how I have it. Now, if you're watching my live broadcast, would you please cast your votes? Number one, what do you want me to put? Which phrase? Number one, joy to the world, or number two, peace on earth? So I need phrase on my ribbon. Please cast your votes and type number one into the comments area for joy to the world and number two for peace on earth. And let me see details on who is watching. Oh, thank you so much, Olga. Thank you so much for watching my live broadcast. I appreciate it. I know we're all busy people, and when people take time to watch something that you're doing, it really makes you warm and fuzzy inside, and it really makes you happy. And I know that people are busy, they can just take a look and go about their business, and I still appreciate it because I know we all have stuff to do. Okay, now let me blend a little bit this into the red, just like this. So I'm taking different shades of purple that I just created by adding blue into red. And there you go. I'm having, at least shadows are done on my candles. Now I will continue to shadows on my ribbon that is on top, and then I will proceed to the highlights for the ribbon and for the candles. And then we will do the details for the flowers. As I see, they're already drying. My berries are dry, so I will add another tint of red. I will add a little bit of white into it, and I will add dimension into the berries. For now, let's continue with shadows on the ribbon and shadow on the ribbon. Alrighty, so let's see, so you can see and my head wouldn't be in the way. Thank you so much for watching my live broadcast. Okay, so like that. Now I will add a little bit of red and I will blend in. Just like this. You see how I ended up creating with few brush strokes dimension and depth and shade, shadow, the casting shadow. All right, so now the shadow will go on the other side of the same curved ribbon. And now I will add red and will blend it in. Okay. Now the purple will go on this side. I'm sorry for keep bumping into the camera, into my phone, and probably disturbing the image for you guys. And sometimes your paint brushes just don't go the way you want them to go, and they create a mess. But I will fix it. Okay, now I will add a little bit of red. And maybe even more red to blend it in. Okay, and now I will flip this part and I will add again purple and then again red to blend my layers together. Because when you create shadow, you don't want that shadow to stick out and disturb the whole image. You want it to be, nice and part of the design, and you don't want your shadows to jump into the faces of your viewers. So what you need to do, you need to carefully blend your shadows into your piece of art that you're creating. Okay, you see how from the flat ribbon, just with adding shadows, I don't even have highlights yet, just adding shadows help to put these curved parts of the ribbon into the background, right? So now you see I messed up parts over here as I was creating a shadow. So now I have to fix it. And there are many different ways of fixing things when you mess up. You can erase it, you can wash it off, scrape it off, you can paint over, or you can move your design and adjust your design. Okay, adding more shadow. Okay, and let's see, I need to blend that in. Okay, this is all fixed. Now I will add some shadows on this part of the ribbon and over here, and then I will work on my highlights. So just a little shadow here. That paintbrush just keeps going in the wrong spot. And it's so easy to blame your paintbrush when you mess up. Okay, so ribbon is coming along. Once again, thank you so much to all of the people who are watching live broadcast, rebroadcast. You seriously made my day, guys. Very appreciative of that. Now I will add some shadow on this side. I hope my head is not on the way. Yep, I'm all good. That's it. The shadows are done. Now for the highlights. I will put highlight over here. I will put highlights on these parts of the ribbon, and I will put highlights on my candles. For highlights, you need to add a little bit of white into your red. Okay, I'm washing off my dark red that I created for shadows. I'm washing it off. And now I will put more red into my color palette, and I will put a little bit more white. Now I need to create tint that will be my highlight. Okay, and I will add that highlight onto my ribbon. Maybe I will get a touch over here too, just a little bit. And I will add a little bit of not shadow, the highlights over here. And over here. And maybe a little bit of more white, and I will just go. You see what's going on? Now I will blend my highlights to make them not so, you know, jumping into your face. All right, so as you can see, the ribbon effect of three-dimensional ribbon is done. Now I still need to work on my candles, and candles I will do from this side, and I will start with this one. Like that. All right, so 3 dimensions are done for this part. Now I will create another, like, second dimension, not really 3 dimension, but just 2 dimensions for the berries, holly berries. For that reason, I again will mix red and white together. It's been almost 2 hours me painting this piece. I definitely would have done it faster if I wouldn't be talking. But you know what? It would be much more boring if I wouldn't be talking. Now, what happened while I was talking is I decided that I did not create a shade of red, tint of red as light as I wanted. So I added more white and repainted. And then I will have for the small berries, I will use the handle of my paintbrush. Okay, so some berries are having no highlights and some berries have highlights, and I did it on purpose because that again will create kind of dimension. And now this one. And now what I will do is I will create another color to put on top of the petals of my red poinsettias. Now I will add yellow color into my red. Oops, where's my... So for that I need more red, and I will add white. I will mix red and white together. I don't want orange to happen, so for that reason I will have a little bit more red, so it's just gonna be another red color. All right, so what I will be doing right now is I will be putting these 3 leaves into front. So you know what, let me rephrase that. First, I will put some darker colors for the leaves that I want on the background. So I will mix red and blue again. And I will paint this with darker red. And I will drag that darker shade of red into the middle of my color of my flower, because I want this effect of the middle of the flower to happen. You guys, I hope you can see. I hope I'm not blocking the view with my head. Okay. Okay. Now for the other flower. So what I'm doing again, I mixed red and blue together in order to create darker shade of, like, it's almost purple but not that much, because what I want to do is I want to create leaves that are on the back, the petals that are on the back. As for this one, I will make this and this 2 on the back, and this 2, and again drag the colors. I even need to remind myself, drag the colors to the middle, your dark color. It will create a nice illusion of the center of the flower. All right, now is the time for the lighter shade, tint of red for petals that will be in front. And they will be, I added a little bit of the yellow into red for this petals. And I'm thinking to make it a little bit different. So for first layer, I will do it this way. So that's my first layer. And I see that my color is not bright enough. Yeah. So I will add a little bit of white into yellow and red. I want them to be brighter. Yeah, like that. Just like this. Sorry for blocking your view again. I keep looking with my peripheral view into the screen of my computer, and I see I sometimes blocking the view. All right, this is ready. Now these 2 flowers, the ones that are smaller, all right. Sometimes you can hear some sounds, like somebody scratching. It's my cat and my dogs. That's always makes it fun. At least some type of audio going on the background. I was thinking to turn on some Christian radio station, but then I realized that I might violate some author's rights of the music artists, so I just decided to go without music. All right, so guys, I still have a couple of things to do with the flowers. So flowers are not there yet, not done. I am going to, let's see, I will wait until this will dry. And for now, I will go into the flame part of my candles. Flame part of my candles. I will start with almost orange color. And that would be the background of my candle, of each candle. And as I go, as this candle, these layers are drying, I will continue with lighter color, and closer to the wick I will make those colors like almost white. Whoops, that needs to look more like a candle. Okay. As we're waiting on these wonderful things to dry, I need to wash off some of my paint brushes over here as we're moving along. And as I'm waiting for some pieces to dry, I will create a couple of things that over here, like that, just little like image of the leaf veins. Oh, and I almost smeared that flame of the candle as I was going. Yeah, need to be careful. I'm just adding a little bit interesting touch to the leaves. Okay. I will show you close up. So that's what I created for the leaves. Just little, you know, the parts that are having veins inside, and they sometimes really like look nice and juicy. All right, so next will be white bleaks, white highlight for the berries. Now they will be completely white. And I will need another paintbrush for that reason. One moment, please. I am checking on my website. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I think I found the perfect paintbrush that will leave perfect highlights. And again, I will be using the part of the handle of the paintbrush to leave some perfect dots, practically perfect dots happening when you using the paintbrush. Let's see which one. You can always practice. And then, okay, let's see if you can see it. Now, I'm sorry for the shadow. I'm just checking my image. I am very sorry for the shadow. I see the shadow over here on laying from my tripod that my phone is connected to. So sorry for that. We can see everything. All right. I'm trying to put the light closer so it will be all good. So let's leave some. Let's create some blicks or all right. Oops, don't take too much paint or it's gonna be a big blob of color. All right, and a couple of more spots left. And I will proceed over here on the other side. All right, so this is ready. Now, as you can see, oops, there's one. Need more paint for that one. All right, too much paint, okay. All right, so this is done. We're still going to use more white over there. I realized that let me move my light closer, because I do realize I have a shadow over there from the leg of my tripod and the frame, my window frame. All right, time to, let me fix this one. Time to create another color for the flames, and it's time to finish up with the poinsettias, and it's time to finally put some words on the ribbon. All right, so I will add a little bit of white and create the next, and I will just add few. All right, so while this is drying, I will add veins into the leaves, red leaves or red petals of poinsettia flower. To do that, I will have to wash off my paintbrush that is really covered in green color. Dogs, I don't want green color on my paintbrush at all, so I need to be very careful on how I'm washing my paintbrush. I'm very sorry for all of these technical parts that some of you may be not even interested in. The good part about the rebroadcast that you always can skip boring parts and go straight to the end and see the results. All right, so I will create the same effect on these leaves and on these leaves. So I will just add a little bit more blue into red and a little bit of white. Okay, and so now I will create that effect. Let's see, no, I need more white. Okay, let's see if this will be visible. Yeah. Okay. And it's called the brushstroke style. One of those styles that we as artists in my art college were taught. It was one of the main techniques that we were supposed to master, is the brushstroke technique, because My major was in fine art, but my minor degree was in Russian traditional folk art, and that's any folk art, you know, American folk art, Chinese folk art, Russian folk art, they all mostly based on brush strokes. Brush strokes is a very, very fun technique, very important technique. And brush strokes is a technique that is like a main component of folk art of practically any country. Oops. And paintbrushes are flying. All right. Let's see. So this is done. Now I will add the same brush strokes into the petals that are in front. To do that, I will add much more much more white into my pink color. And this is what I will do. Okay, I'm thinking maybe even more white. Maybe more. All right, now I will continue the same brush strokes for my smaller flowers, poinsettia flowers. And let me do a couple on this side. Okay. And lastly, last petal. All right, so look at this up close. If you can see. All right, now is the time for my flame, candle flame, to get the last. And this white color, like practically white, is a little bit of yellow in it. This last color will be picked up by the highlights on the ribbon and by this highlights on the berries, and there will be some little dots that I will put in the middle of this poinsettias. They will be yellow, so this will also pick up this all colors and make it all work together perfectly. I'm sorry, looks like I'm going into my 3rd hour of creating this Rebroadcast. Okay, I will put a couple of yellow leaves in the middle of poinsettia first. And one more over here. and then couple here. All right, now for the white dots on the middle of the poinsettias. Yes, let's do white dots as well. Okay. Just a little bit here and there. And a little bit of those dots here. Okay. Now these leaves of holly berries will be worked on a little bit more. So don't worry. I will work on them, and for that reason I will use the most skinniest brush ever, number 10 liner, and I will use white and yellow color, blend them together, and I will need to sort of like outline those leaves. And maybe a little bit more white. And I will just do it at the beginning of the leaf. I'm not gonna do it for the leaf that is, like, I'm not gonna continue this style for the leaf all the way through. Just again, kind of sort of another way of creating dimension. Now I'm thinking that my rebroadcast will be done. I will speed it up. I don't think anybody like my computer can even handle working with a very heavy file of almost 3 hours. So I will have to speed it all up and turn off my voice, or my voice will sound funny, and it will be a very funny video. Now, as I said before in the beginning of my broadcast, the way God works with us, the way we sometimes feel like, oh God, you know, we want to be this, we want to be a better people, have this or that. Sometimes we can't wait for God to change us or change somebody else in our life. Sometimes we just don't have enough patience for God to let even God work, on us. And sometimes that creates a problem because, God, the way I think about God, I think he could have take one day to create this world, but he took 6 days. And you know what? It's fine because God spent his time on creating this world because he wanted to be beautiful. He wanted to be good. He wanted this world to be, perfect. And we ruined it for him, sort of. So if your child or if your friend, if your spouse has artistic skills, and if you have some type of lack of patience with them and you want them to hurry up and create their art piece fast, just turn on this rebroadcast and see. It's not easy. Even a simple design as this one it's almost going to be 3 hours by the time I'll finish. And I started from practically zero. I didn't paint the background live, and that saved a lot of time. But art takes time. Art takes effort. And especially if you want to create a good art piece, especially if you want to create something that, guys, you want to hang on your wall, right? If you want to hang something on the wall, you will end up spending a lot of time on your art piece, right? So, yeah. That's what I think is happening. And that is okay. Now I will add a couple of more touches for the red leaves of the poinsettia. Just a couple of, I just want them to I kind of liking it, guys. I kind of like doing stuff on live. The problem is it's never gonna be a short thing. It will take time. It will be a long live broadcast. But those who have time, welcome to watch it. All right, this is done. I will wait until all the colors will be dry, and I mean completely dry, before I will erase my still you see tracing of a pencil here and there, and I will erase it. I'm not going to leave it like this. Okay, so I will add right now a little bit of shadow on the other part of my ribbon. As I can see, it needs to be done. And maybe for this purpose I will add a little bit of black. That's the only time I will add black into. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is all done. I am so happy. Let me move the line from my microphone so it wouldn't be on the way. I hope it's not, or at least less. All right. Let's see what else needs to be finished. As I said before, I want some twigs. So I will make some twigs. And I will put some twigs over here. And at the same time, the color of the twigs will go on some berries. Just to give dimension. Ooh, a very long, a very, very, very long live broadcast. And more twigs on this side. Okay. Okay. All right. I will use just a little bit of touch of black. Oh, I'm still there, but for some reason my live broadcast on my computer is over, so I don't know what's going on. I will continue and finish up though. I just gonna add a line. Okay. All right. Oops. Have to fix that part over there. Okay. So, let's see, guys. Am I still live? Yes. Olga, thank you so much for watching. All right. So, my computer stopped. My Facebook page is showing me that my live broadcast, for some reason, I see it's like done. I see my phone is still recording. I see one of my friends is still watching. Thank you so much for that. Let me put a couple of more touches. And we will be done. Now, if you're watching, tell me please and type number 1 or number 2 if you would like me to put on a ribbon. Olga, that's a question for you. Type number 1 in the comment section for joy to the world, or type number 2 for peace on earth. And whatever you will type, I will write on my ribbon over here. So, Olga, it's now all up to you. If you're still watching, please type number 1 for joy to the world or number 2 for peace on earth. Let's see. I don't see any comments yet. I don't see comments coming. So if anybody watching what I'm doing, would you please comment with number 1 for joy to the world or number 2 for peace on earth? I'm looking for answers to see if, let's see, let me type something. Number 1 or number 2? Question mark. Number 1 or number 2, guys? Help me to decide what to write on the ribbon. Number 1, joy to the world. Number 2, peace on earth. If nobody will give me your opinions, I will decide. And we'll see. All right. I'm officially done painting this part. What I will have to still do is I need to write the words. And somebody please help me to decide. Joy to the world, number 1 in the comment area, please. Or peace on earth, press number 2, type number 2. And I will start lining up my everything that I need in order to paint those words. Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay. Do we have any comments coming? Do we have anybody making decisions, number 1 or number 2? All right, then I will make my decision. I will write joy to the world. Number 1, joy to the world. Okay. We will use white paint for that. And I will outline. Thank you for watching. Let me see. It's so interesting the way it's set up to do live broadcasts. So I need to look into the screen of my phone, and you need to see my face up close. All right, I will write joy to the world. I hope it's all good with everybody. And I will outline lines for the word joy, and to the world, to the over here, to the, and world will be over there. Joy to the world. Joy to the world. I hope you all okay with my decision. And the last but not least, okay, I'm having an issue over here with some paint brushes just sitting and waiting for me to wash them off. So let me just stick them in the water for a second. I don't want to ruin them. I'm sorry for that. Okay, let me practice a little bit. And what I mean by that is that the paintbrush that I chose right now to paint my words, I'm sorry for blocking your view. I don't think are not the ones that I want to use. I will see. One moment, please. My old paintbrushes, my old favorite guys that I so have hard time to depart with. Seriously, don't want to give them away. Let me add some acrylic medium into my white paint that's been sitting here for a long time and promising me to dry out pretty soon. Okay, time to write the words. Oops, guys, I see. I keep moving my head in front of the camera. I'm sorry for that. I'm very sorry. So let's move it all. Joy. I'm not trying to make any fancy fonts over here. Something very simple. I follow the curves of my ribbon as my ribbon curls around the corners, as my ribbon moves up and down to the left or to the right. So will be my words. They will be moving to the left or to the right. I hope you guys are watching. Okay, thank you so much for everybody who took their time and stopped by even for the short time. And to joy to the joy to the and the world. The word world will be on the other side of the ribbon. And this phrase just makes me want to sing this song. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, I messed up. Now, also another reason why is it hard to breathe. Why it's so hard to breathe and paint, because usually when I paint, I sometimes don't even breathe. I just take a breath and I don't breathe for a while. Now, why? Because sometimes when you paint straight lines or something fine, like right now, you don't want your hand to wiggle and you end up skipping a breath. Okay, we all go. Thank you so much for keep watching me. Appreciate it, my friend. I hope my spelling is correct. World. And I'm sorry, guys. So here's the deal. I'm reminding myself that over and over and over again. You seeing the mirrored image when you go live on Facebook, the image is reversed. The image that you're filming is not what you see. It's being reversed, it's being flipped, it's mirrored, the image. And I'm sorry that on your screens you cannot read what I wrote, but I swear, I'm sorry, I'm not swear, I promise you, I wrote joy to the world, and it's all looking correctly in real life, okay? It's seriously looking the way it's supposed to look, and it's readable. I'm thinking to add a couple of more touches, so bear with me, I will be done in a second. And the touches that I would like to add is a couple of, okay, and maybe something over here. Like decorative part. Decorative. Okay, that little guy shouldn't happen over there. Okay. Just kind of bring attention to the phrase. And even add more white to the very middle over there. Alrighty, that is it. That is done. I'm officially finished. I'm officially done with painting Christmas theme on the cutting board, on a wooden cutting board. I'm officially done with all the details. The only two more things left. I know I'm telling you I'm officially done. I don't think artists ever feels like they're officially done. So what is going on now? Now I need to wait until paint is completely dry. Now I need to wait until all my layers finished their drying process, so that I wouldn't accidentally smear them when I will do when I will start erasing the parts that need to be erased. Somewhere you can see that you can see a trace of my pencils. You can see little things that need to be done. And now again, you see, I think I'm done. No, I'm not done. I think I will put a couple of branches between the candles because they're kind of lonely over there. Okay, I think this would be better. So now those candles are kind of grouped together with the help of those little twigs. Okay, yes, that's it. That is. Done, 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 done. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all this. almost 3 hours of painting. It's seriously, I don't know how I will be posting this rebroadcast. I will probably thinking I will speed up the whole process, and I will pack it, hopefully, into 1 hour with me not talking at all, because if I will speed up my speech 3 times, make it 3-4 times faster, I will sound like a cartoon character. I don't think anybody will enjoy that. And not only enjoy that, I don't think you will understand what I'm saying. And I don't have a separate soundtrack going, so all what is recording is what you can hear is all together done on one device, which is my phone, which is definitely not that bad, but it's not perfect. And so thank you so much for being a part of this 3-hour live broadcast. Thank you so much for being patient with me, for being so faithful and being part of this live broadcast with your likes, with your views. I appreciated that I'm not by myself talking to myself. Thank you so much for spending time and seeing how art is being created. Thank you so much for your support in real life or in the virtual world. I am erasing traces of my pencil. At the same time, I'm trying not to smear, but I think all my paint has been completely dry. There you go. There you have it. As soon as I will be done with live broadcast, I will cover entire board with several layers of Mod Podge, and it will go into someone's presents for Christmas. And it will be, I hope, a part of somebody else's kitchen as a decoration for the Christmas season. And I hope you all have that joy in your hearts that Jesus Christ was born. Let me bring camera back. Okay, sorry for that. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Olga, for watching. Thank you so much for Natalia of also watching my live broadcast. I thank you so much for being part of this event, my first live broadcast, Painting Life. My masterpiece is done, and Mod Podge for several layers of Mod Podge will go here, and I hope a lucky winner, maybe it will be Olga, who is very, very patient with my 3-hour live broadcast, will get this for Christmas. So if you really would like to have this for Christmas present, why don't you type something from me, Olga? If you're still there, would you type something in the comment area and you'll get this for Christmas? How about that? I love you all. Thank you so much for being part of my inspirational online art studio, Paper, Paint and Palette. You can find more information about me and my studio at www.paperpaintandpalette.com. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Christmas season with your families, with your friends. And I will see you next week for my live broadcast on Wednesday and for another free art tutorial that I post every Monday. Have a great day, guys. Bye.